Could this have been handled in a different way, or is it that?
Expecting a reply is no way a wrong thing. That is a fundamental right. And suspending 141 MPs from Parliament, from both houses, I see that as excess.
The Honorable President of India said that she is deeply saddened by this incident.
Because I am from Tamil Nadu, I have seen much more things happened in Tamil Nadu Assembly. So this is not a new thing for us who are in down south and especially in Tamil Nadu. Mocking and mimicking and imitating will not come under a crime. It is not such a era that we have tall leaders like Lal Bahadur Shastri and Jay Prakash Narayan. And it might be a surprise for North people, North India Parliament. That might be a surprise. In Tamil Nadu, in Assembly, we have seen two speakers sitting in the same chair at the same time.
Exactly the point that Congress is telling. BJP is blowing it out of proportion to cover the security breach incident.
I am also surprised why there is no concrete.
Is it a blow on DMK's face, who have been...
It may become an embarrassment for DMK to handle the media, but the media is not going, Tamil Nadu media is not going to raise any questions against this. So, if you expect a translation for each and every conversation, then it will distract the whole idea. Mr. Modi knows English very well. Purposefully, he is speaking in Hindi. We have seen Mr. Trichy Siva speaking in Hindi.
Hello and welcome to this week's Pandey Politics. We have a lot of things to discuss, including the recent issues in the Parliament that's happening, and we have Mr. Rangaraj Pandey, Editor-in-Chief Chanakya, with us to discuss these points. Namaskaram and welcome, sir. As we all know, there was a security breach in the Parliament, and following that, we could not see a smooth episode in the Parliament, and the opposition have been they have been always voicing out that the Home Minister should come and speak, the Prime Minister should come and speak. It was complete ruckus, and there was not even a single day after that where the Parliament was able to function efficiently. But following that, 141 MPs in both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, they've been suspended from the winter session. Is this too much of a harsh action by the speakers of both the houses, or do you think they don't have a choice but to do this because they are coming to the well of the house and they are shouting slogans and they're not letting the proceedings happen? Could this have been handled in a different way, or is it that they don't have a choice here?
What happened on December 13 in Parliament was completely unexpected, unaccepted, unexpected. Somebody coming inside the Parliament and throwing some color spray and all, and we are unable to imagine what could have happened if there was something else. Even if it is a poisonous powder, you cannot imagine what could be the damage. So, expecting a reply from Honorable Home Minister and Honorable Prime Minister is no way a wrong thing. That is a fundamental right of every parliamentarian to ask for that. They can ask only in the incident happened in Parliament. Everybody is in Parliament. The people who are asking are all parliamentarians. They are asking to the Speaker, to the Chair, and they are asking to get reply from Home Minister, who is taking care of complete internal security of the country, as well as who is the in charge of Delhi Police, who is the security in charge of the Parliament. So obviously they are expecting a reply from Home Minister, Honorable Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, and obviously everything, even if the minor girl molested and physically assaulted in Uttar Pradesh, even in Akhilesh Yadav's government, people used to blame Narendra Modi that he is the reason for everything. So these type of politics were happening all these years. When even in law and order problems, they used to blame Honorable Prime Minister. When something happened in Parliament itself, they will never leave even a single stone unturned. Obviously, they will push everything as their best. That is what happened. And I don't find anything wrong in expecting a reply from Honorable Home Minister as well as or Honorable Prime Minister. That is the basic thing. The parliamentarians, the opposition parties are absolutely right on their demand. I don't find any fault there. And suspending 141 MPs from parliament from both houses, I see that as excess. I will not say that is unlawful, that is illogical and perfect. I will see that as excess. Certainly, you could have waited for some more time. They started rugging up the parliament. The next day, they were suspended. First day, one person, Debrick O'Brien from Trinamool Congress. Second day, 15 MPs, mostly from Tamil Nadu, Manik Thakur, Kanimoli, and Jyotimuni and all. The 40 people, 50 people, it is going like anything. Then it will be mocked. People will not accept, and MPs certainly will not accept. And that will be a great opportunity for the political parties, that they will blame the government that it is not a democratic government, it's a dictatorial government. They are running a dictatorship and all. This will give a chance to blame themselves by the opposition parties. So what I feel personally, the chair could have waited for a few more days to expose the opposition party in front of the public that we are ready to debate, we are ready to discuss, we are ready for everything. We are having a lot of things and procedure. We have to wait for the investigating agencies to come up with the results, what happened to the people and who were backing them and all. They have to come up with all the answers, and it will take some time. And I can promise you that before the ending of this session, I will ask Honorable Home Minister to reply to this house. They can have say this, and it can be open in the parliament. Then people will think that why this opposition party is not allowing the parliament to run,
function.
So the blame will be obviously in the opposition parties. When they started shouting, immediately they were suspended. Then people will think, what happened? What happens there? Why he is so aggressive? Normally, the parliament agitations and parliament regulars, it happens every other session. It is not a new one. For the first time in Indian history of parliament, we are seeing like this. It is not so. It happens in every season. Sometime Tamil Nadu MPs will do, sometime Northeast MP will do, sometime political parties, Congress party will do, sometimes Kerala, whether it's a state or organization or party, or sometimes female MPs who may shout that we will be ignored and insulted by some political, all these things. So any such group of MPs may create all these things. It happens every other session, every other season. For this suspending MPs in unprecedented way, and 141 MPs from both houses, almost I can say 25% to 30% of MPs of whole state, then this will be criticized by opposition parties, and this will become a great opportunity to the opposition parties to criticize the government, and people also may think that there is a point.
And following this suspension of MPs, we saw a very disappointing act by one of the suspended MPs from Trinamool Congress, Mr. Kalyan. So he was imitating the vice president of the country, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar, and he was imitating him in front of the parliament. And all the MPs, suspended MPs, including Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and almost everyone was there, and they were all like enjoying and enjoying the show, and they were even videographing it, or they were even recording it in their videos. And the Honorable President of India said that she is deeply saddened by this incident, by this act of the MPs. And do you think this is bringing down the morale of the parliament? And in retrogression, Congress, Mr. Jairam Ramesh, Congress spokesperson, is telling that we know who mocked at Rahul Gandhi in the floor of the parliament. He was referring to the incident where Mr. Narendra Modi was trying to mimic the opposition leaders, and it's just going to and fro between Congress and BJP, but it is bringing the morale of the house, it is bringing down the morale of the parliament. So how do you see this act, and how do you see the retrogression that Congress is giving for this?
Because I am from Tamil Nadu, I have seen much more things happened in Tamil Nadu Assembly. So this is not a new thing for us who are in down south and especially in Tamil Nadu. We are surprised by the reaction of the mocking and the mimicking and the things, because we have seen this well before, almost 10 to 15 years before itself. We have seen the same incident happened in ADMK regime. Mr. Durai Murugan, current water source minister, he was mocking and mimicking and doing all these things about that time speaker, Mr. Kalimuthu in Tamil Nadu. On the road, they were conducting a mock assembly itself. So he was acting as a speaker, and he was sitting how Mr. Kalimuthu was sitting. He was speaking how Kalimuthu. So complete mimicking and mocking was happened at least 10 to 15 years before happened in Parliament. That happened in Tamil Nadu Assembly. So for people like us from Tamil Nadu, we don't have any surprise to see all this thing. Actually, I'm surprised by the reaction from the government. Including Honorable President, including Honorable Prime Minister. Honorable President publicly tweeted this, and Honorable Prime Minister spoke to Mr. Jagdeep Dhangar, Honorable Vice President, and every other top leaders of this country. They expressed their support and all to Honorable Vice President. Mocking and mimicking and imitating will not come under a crime. If you use a unparliamentary word or bird words or ugly acts, that should be condemnable. Just mimicking and mocking and somebody will not come under any crime. If at all it comes under any crime, there should be a case. There should be a case against Mr. Kalyan Banerjee. Was there anything so? So they have not committed any crime. They were just passing their time. After all, to pass the whole day, they need to do something. So they were making all such things. If at all, if you expect that they could have avoided all these things. But it is not such a era that we have tall leaders like Lal Bahadur Shastri and Jay Prakash Narayan. And it is not the era for such leaders. You can't expect any dharmic and pure politics things. You cannot expect all these things. Now
it's about courteousness, right, sir? It's not a crime. I agree, it's not crime, but it's not a very warm behavior to welcome. I mean, why do you have to mock someone?
I completely agree with you. Whether it is acceptable means it can be avoided without any doubt. As I told, because we have witnessed the same thing 15 years before, we don't see any surprise here. It might be a surprise for North people, North India, Parliament. That might be a surprise. In Tamil Nadu, in Assembly, we have seen two speakers sitting in the same chair at the same time. We have seen Speaker himself pulled down from the chair. We have seen topmost leaders thrown their shirts and all the reckless happened in Parliament, in Assembly itself. So we have witnessed many more things than this. So we were not surprised. Whether it is acceptable means certainly it can be avoidable without any doubt. It is avoidable. We cannot endorse it. We cannot support it. But I just want to make a small difference that we need not to take this as such a serious thing. Okay, they are mocking, right? Okay, we can punish them politically in next election. We can
exactly see that. Exactly the point that Congress is telling. BJP is blowing it out of proportion to cover the security breach incident, and they are trying to divert people by taking this very seriously. Do you think they are doing that?
I don't buy the reason. I am also surprised why there is no concrete thing come up on that security breach.
It's been a week now. It's been a week now. We are on 20th.
December 13, and we can trust our investigating agency. They are very well prepared. They are all very strong and capable of doing a lot of miracles and all. I strongly believe in our security agencies without any doubt. I don't have even an iota of doubt on them. But it is certainly a bit of doubt what is happening there, why there is no reply and all. That can be easily handled by Honorable Home Minister. He is a master in that, and nothing to cover about the Honorable Prime Minister. He is the boss of all these things. He can handle things like anything. He has handled throughout his life most complicated, controversial, most challenging times in his throughout life. He has overcome all these things. Like anything, we can easily handle. with his skill, with his will, everything he can do miracles. I am surprised why it is not happening, why they are not allowed, why they are not exposing the opposition party, that they are not allowing the parliament to run, and they are just shouting the democracy in a coma stage. Why they are not allowed the opposition party to expose themselves? That is what makes me surprised. But I don't think that they are covering up. I strongly believe in Honorable Prime Minister as well as Home Minister that they are very strong leaders India ever had, and they can handle things in a better way, and they handle things, very tough things also in a very better way. And we have seen the history last 9 years, 9.5 years, we have seen them performing like anything, whole world, international communities praising them like anything in all aspects, not only in economical growth, but also in security arrangements, international communities, in international relationship, in every other aspect, they are growing, they are proving themselves in 360 degree. So I don't think that for such incident, they need to cover something and they need to create some different things and all. I am certainly surprised by why 141 MPs from both houses suspended. They can, the chairs could have waited for a few more days. Then, if it happens, people also will go with the chair that okay, they have given enough time. These people were not listening to the chair, so obviously it was not having any other option than suspending him. But doing it immediately the next day on the same day means that may create all this. As I told you, that is why Mr. Jairam Ramesh is commenting like that. The Treasury bench itself gave the room for all these comments to the opposition parties.
My last part in this conversation, sir, it's about the INDA alliance meeting. Very, very. We know that it was not a very fruitful meeting, and people were not very happy. But there was an incident where the Bihar Chief Minister, Mr. Nitish Kumar, was vehemently against the translation done by Manikcha for the DMK MPs on the request of DMK MP Mr. T.R. Balu. So he has made a statement that Hindi is the national language, and this has been the topic of discussion for many times now. We don't buy that Hindi is the only national language. There are many national languages, but he wanted the people, the politicians from South, to learn Hindi. Is it a blow on DMK's face, who have been constantly against the Hindi language, and when their own allies are commenting about their inability to speak and understand Hindi? Is it a blow to DMK, or is it an eye-opener to DMK that you need to propagate the language and it is not going to be the same anymore?
2-3 aspects are there in this point. One, it is widely reported in most of the media, but still I have to verify from Haas' own mouth, whether from DMK or from RJD or from Mr. Nitish Kumar himself, to comment on that, so that it will be having a clear light on that. So I am waiting. Of course, 90% of the media has reported the same thing. There was no deviation, but still I have to wait for the exact comment or reaction from the person. Then only we can understand what happened, because it was a closed door meeting. So that might have happened. Till now, no one reported that, no one denied that. So we can guess that it happened. That's one point. Second point, Mr. Nitish Kumar was already agitated by lot of things developing inside the alliance. He wanted to promote himself as a Prime Minister candidate for the first point, but he was not promoted so. In that meeting itself, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge from Congress party was projected as a Prime Minister candidate. So that was first disappointment.
Mamata Banerjee's master stroke.
Yeah, obviously she has already the strike in the same way in Pranab Mukherjee case also. When Hamid Ansari was supposed to be the presidential candidate from Congress party, she was the first person to initiate that. If Pranab Mukherjee made a candidate, we are ready to support. Then the Congress has no choice other than announcing Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. So we have to see whether that was a master stroke of Pranab Mukherjee himself or Mamata Banerjee. That is a separate case. So again, here also she initiated that, and Mr. Nitish Kumar was obviously disappointed by that initiation. Second thing, he wanted to be at least a coordinator of this alliance. So because he only initiated the alliance, if he not comes there, Mr. Naveen Patnaik would have not encouraged them to discuss about. He went to Bhubaneswar and he met Odisha Chief Minister Mr. Naveen Patnaik. If it is from Congress or if it is from any other party, he would not, Mr. Naveen Patnaik would not encourage that. Just because it was Nitish Kumar, he encouraged. The same case, if it is initiated by Congress, Mamata Banerjee will not accept it. If it is initiated by Congress, even Arvind Kejriwal ji might not have accepted it because they were all rivals. They were all against Congress. They only defeated Congress on their own respective states.
Even though they are in their respective states, even though they are rivals.
Obviously. So it was Mr. Nitish Kumar who initiated. For that, he was expected the reciprocation from the alliance that to make him as a coordinator. That was also not on the card. So that was also his disappointment. And every time in a conversation, it is not about some lectures. When we are conversing within us, if you expect a translation for each and every conversation physically, then it will distract the whole idea, whole thought process itself. If somebody is giving lecture, then somebody is translating. That will not be a disruption. That will not be a disturbance. If somebody is discussing within them, they are having a deep discussion of future politics and 2024 election. For every other speech, if you want a translation, that will disturb the thought process of the meeting.
No, sir. When this is a INDAA alliance, and people from all over India are participating, you cannot expect them to know one single language. The connecting language should be a common language, which is English, and which is he has vehemently said that the colonialism should be shared. He is against the usage of a common language. We all know that English is a medium of communication, and it is the link language for India at this point of time. So should it not have happened? I understand the difficulty in translation.
You don't know Hindi, so asking him to talk in English. He doesn't know English.
He can very well speak in English. We have seen Nitish Kumar talking in English. He knows
that doesn't matter. You cannot compel. No, you cannot compel.
No, I'm not compelling. I'm telling. No. Is it not a good gesture?
We know that Honorable Prime Minister knows English very well. Mr. Donald Trump, previous president of America, he himself told that Mr. Modi knows English very well. Purposefully, he is speaking in Hindi. Whenever he goes to international forum, he used to speak in Hindi to the when he addresses the media and all. So that because he's a Bharatiya, he's an Indian, he's taking Hindi into international community.
That's a different comparison.
I'm coming to the point. I told you, as it was not a lecture. That can be prepared, that can be prompted, that can be supported in other language. It was a discussion. Sharad Pawar ji says something, Sonia ji says something, Mallikarjuna Kharge ji says something, you are saying something. Then every other conversation, if you want some translation, that will disrupt the idea itself. That's what I am saying. So what they say, we can see, we have seen Mr. Trichy Siva speaking in Hindi. And you can simply expect Mr. T.R. Baluji, who was a minister, who was MP who is MP for a long time, more than 20 years, he might be able to understand Hindi. He may not be able to converse in Hindi. He may not be able to, the idea is defeating the BJP, making the campaign, creating some slogans, fixing the Prime Minister candidacy, all these things which you are all already aware. And Mr. Nitish Kumar is going not to talk literature in Hindi. That he is not going to Tulsi, Mahabharata, Ramayana and all. He is going to talk only about all these current politics situations, which you are already aware. And he will certainly use a lot of English words in between his speech. So that also you can understand. That is what his point was. Array, every other, don't expect me to translate every other speech. You should understand. Of course, what he used, that may not be synced with the idea of the IND alliance, that Hindi is our national language. We don't have any national languages here, as I know. We have a lot of, including Tamil, we have 22 national languages, and we don't have any official language, Hindi as well as English, and Tamil Nadu, we are pushing for 3 language system. So that dispute, that gray area is still continuing. Let that be. But in a discussion, you cannot expect everyone to talk in your own language. This is a problem you have to address in future. I think they may address in future.
Is it
But
going to
what
backfire for Tamil Nadu? Because Tamil Nadu is a state which is very, very sensitive about the language politics. And the flag bearer of
may
this
become an embarrassment for DMK to handle the media. But the media is not going, Tamil Nadu media is not going to raise any questions against this. So that also will not be a problem. This may be a chat in social media and all. So if at all, whenever the question is raised to DMK, they have to answer, and they will answer rhetorically very well, and they are masters in that. They have overcome all the 75 years with all the rhetorics and all. They will handle this also. They may say that Nitish Kumarji apologizes in person. Next time you will have an English translation. We don't have any issue. We have the issue sorted out immediately. All these are things we can expect a reply as well. So it may be a political embarrassment for DMK, but DMK will not allow that to blown out of proportion. They will handle as they handle all these things.
Perfect, sir. Thank you so much for taking time and explaining everything in detail.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thanks.